The kitchen gut job is done. We'll start putting things back together soon. A quick explanation of what I did. The lower cabinets were just too nasty to keep. Piles of rat poop and dead mice underneath the cabinet, so I got rid of those. Ended up taking the light down because I want the headspace to make the kitchen not be as cramped. I'll come back in with LED lighting up here. I need to address the wiring in the walls, potentially add another circuit for some countertop circuitry dedicated for higher draw things like microwaves. Took this storage out of this end cap to give me more room this way in the kitchen. Cabinets come to here. Imagine a dishwasher open, this being the existing wall right there. Before, you had like 4 inches. Now, when the dishwasher door opens, you've got room to move and navigate. You've still got storage in the pantry. In this, if I end up keeping that, the cabinets that are going here, the cabinets on the back side above the washer and dryer, there's plenty. And so I'm not concerned about the loss of storage over the functionality of having more space and an easier flow to even to walk around. The other thing I may do is get rid of this to add more dining room space. I still think you have enough storage in this place with that being gone. And all I'd be keeping this here for is sort of the interesting looking trailerness of it. But even if I keep it, it's all rigged up over here where shelves have been broken in the past. So I'd still have to work on it. So the easier thing to do would just be to eliminate it. There's a seam in the paneling right here. So I could just drop this. The ceilings are done the same no matter what's in the trailer. So this is a color difference. But you can see I can remove all this stuff carefully, not tear the ceiling up. And once it's painted, it's as if it was never here. I'm not having to come back in and do a lot of drywall patching. So that's good enough of an update for me to move forward. And y'all have a rough idea of why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I'm doing, kind of putting the kitchen back together. That's a baby mouse. Time to pop the insulation back in and do some drywall. Let's look at the details real quick. This wire is for the exhaust fan over the stove. This will operate a light over the window. It also will be a receptacle. Power goes under to this box over here, also a receptacle, and then a light switch for the main lights. The light switch that was right here used to operate the fan. This is just an exhaust fan in the middle of the kitchen, in addition to the range hood that the trailer had, but this one didn't vent to the outside. I'll be venting it to the outside. So the receptacle in this box is operated on a 20 amp circuit, and then the circuit that ran to that fan was a 14 gauge wire on 15 amp circuit. That fan wire has just been redirected up here. This work box will bring power up to a light that lights the sink. 12-inch cabinet will go below. This will be all trimmed out. A light will be mounted kind of up in there to where it shoots the light straight down in a valance that goes right here that keeps the light from hitting you in the eyes. The wire that was work box that was right here, these are the wires that went to it. They weren't long enough to get over into the new location of this box, so I had to put this work box here, acts as a junction box. Those wires were extended into this box. Here's the plug for the refrigerator. This wire right here was actually inside the box, I think, or either pushed out the box into the wall, and the end was just taped up. And they had brought another wire into the box. Remember the one that came up on the surface and then went into the wall and into the back of the box as its own dedicated circuit. This wire right here, when I put power on it, I traced it down to over there. You can see the blue tape on that black wire. So the wire goes up and over to here. I think what was going on is there was a window unit in this window and then a refrigerator plugged into the same circuit. And what was happening is when the AC was running and then this refrigerator would kick on, that was just too much for the circuit, and I'm sure they were just tripping a breaker. It could have just been a bad breaker. That can happen. I've had it where breakers were tripping, and I thought it was an issue with just being overloaded, and it was just the breaker had gotten weak or something. And when I replaced it with a brand new breaker, stopped tripping. So if you end up with that kind of happening to you, check the breaker first. Replace the breaker before you go doing stuff that's complicated. But there's not going to be a window unit in here because I'm putting AC in the trailer. The other thing I can do is I can put a blank cover on the receptacle that goes here, and then there's another receptacle on the same circuit right over here. I can cover those up. There's another receptacle right here, so you're not really losing that much, and that would keep anything from being plugged in on the same circuit that could cause it to trip. If I find out that there's a problem with this wire, all I have to do, disconnect the wire over there, wire nut this, put a blank cover over it, and bring a new wire up through the floor. Only other thing to say is put the nail covers over all the wires, because I'm going to be coming in with the drywall mounting cabinet, so that protects that. Where they come through the top plate, you can see they come through pipes, so they're protected there. And then the only other thing that'll happen, this can happen later on, is the lighting will happen across here, and I'll just be punching 6-inch holes and putting 6-inch LED recessed lighting there. So insulation, then drywall. Good morning, everybody. 8:30 a.m. Just dropped the kids off at the school. Stopped by the trailer to close out this video. Got the one piece of drywall up. I wanted to do the whole thing, but it wasn't going to happen in this video, so I popped that one up just for fun. This one right here didn't interfere with anything. I wanted to practice doing the screws. I wanted to use my little cutout tool that I bought. Bought that just for doing the drywall in this project, but I'll have it moving forward. I used to have a roto-zip, but some mean person stole it out of one of my houses, but I have now this Milwaukee one that runs off the battery. So it's great. There's no power here. There's usually no power at any of the houses I'm working on for the most part. And if I need power corded tools, I'm using a generator. So it keeps me from having to drag that around. I love my battery tools, using battery lights, battery tools, everything. It's so much nicer to not have a cord, and it gives you just total mobility. It was a game changer. If you're still using corded tools on any serious level, try some battery tools. You'll love it. Totally changed the way that I work on stuff, and everybody else too. Not like I'm the first one to discover that. The reason I didn't finish the drywall is because this wire right here is going to go to the range hood. So that's the exhaust fan over the stove. That will vent outside. This wire needs to exit the wall right where it needs to exit the wall to go into that fan. That's dependent on the cabinet and the fan itself. I bought all the cabinets last night, but the fan was $145. That didn't sit very good with me, so I bought one off Amazon for $65. I'll just say it this way. If Amazon competing with in-person stores, if in-person stores, everything is that expensive, people are going to buy stuff off Amazon because it's just prohibitive to do everything walking in a store. I understand the differences between something on sale, for sale online versus the cost of having a store, but then there's reality. If you can't buy it, you can't buy it. Every decision I made, I bought something that was the equivalent of $145 versus $65, I would not be able to do the things that I do. Of course, when I started all this, products weren't ridiculously expensive. This drywall was like $15.68 per sheet. I think drywall was like $7 a sheet when I was first starting. So it's just ridiculous. Just doing stuff like this is getting so expensive. And that's why houses cost a lot. That's why everything costs a lot, because everything is getting so expensive. And there are reasons that it's happening outside of greed and everything else, but we won't get into that. Sorry, I'll get distracted if I talk about that. So talking about that fan though, I will say this. I want to use this project, this trailer, as a way to experiment with some of these lesser expensive items. I don't mean worse quality, but I want to find lesser expensive things that equal the quality of the cheap stuff at Lowe's. So the other area that I'll be trying that is the lights that I'm putting up here. I ordered a 24-pack of those LED lights for $95. I think a 12-pack of them are $72 at Lowe's. So it'll be interesting to see, and I've used those types of lights before. It'll be interesting to see how they compare. Out of 24 lights, do all 24 of them work? How long do they all work? Do they die at different times? Are they roughly the equivalent of what you buy at Lowe's? Yes, it's all Chinese, but are the specific companies that are making them, do they all have the equivalent quality control? I've seen, bought cheap Chinese faucets from Lowe's, and then I've seen cheap Chinese faucets from Amazon. There was a difference. The ones from Lowe's are nicer Chinese faucets, still cheap, but, and I mean low quality, but the ones that I've seen off Amazon have been like super low quality. So I want to kind of see some of that stuff for myself as far as long-term testing goes. So it'd be kind of interesting to try that on this project. I think that's pretty much it. I just really wanted to throw this piece of drywall up for fun. Also discovered how much weaker I'm getting over time putting this drywall up. Putting up drywall on your own is kind of awkward, lifting it up, making sure it's all in the right place, taking your screw gun, screwing it in, not having it shift. So I'm weakened compared to what I used to be, and that's a bummer. So I think I want to start doing something about that before I get too weak and too old to kind of correct it. I want to kind of keep that up a little bit better. Probably a lot of you guys watching this have noticed that same thing happening to you. I'm almost a certain age, but yeah. I think that's pretty much it. The only other thing to do here in the kitchen that I didn't do is I need to patch the floor there, and then the little piece that goes here. Then the question I'll ask y'all in this video is, we eliminated this section that stuck out here as wide as that patch in the floor. So I gave the kitchen so much more room. But should I get rid of this? I think the answer is yes. This piece goes from right here. So think about the dining area getting that much bigger. I think that is a so much more valuable addition than to keep this little weird bar thing with these glass shelves that will get broken, those wood shelves that have been rigged up and need to be repaired, the mousiness of it all. So I think the better thing to do would just be to eliminate this, patch the floor, and then have this additional space. It would make a dining room more functional. Then, if somebody really wants something that offers more storage, they can put that there, and they can sacrifice their space for their storage. But with this being a built-in, it gives them no option. The dining area is from here to here. So imagine 16 more inches. Size-wise, it's probably just under 8 feet from here to here. Of course, you could go over into the living room area, but I'm just saying sort of the defined space, basing it off of this wall here, it's probably a little less than 8 feet. So you go from a little less than, or 8-ish feet to over 9 feet. So I think that's pretty good, almost 10 feet probably. What else do we say? That's it. I do want y'all's ideas. Think about flooring. I kind of want to put LVP from here. I mean, I should put LVP through the whole thing. I just don't know if I can stomach the cost and the time to do the install right now. So I may... Putting carpet in here is probably a mistake. I will carpet the bedrooms. I will carpet... I mean, LVP would be great, but again, I haven't seen LVP that is what I would consider a sort of bang for your buck, affordable price that doesn't mess up. And then the nice stuff is just so expensive. So that's why I go back to my theory is I use carpet in the bedrooms or carpet in area, and then I just replace it. When it gets nasty, I replace it. And I'm okay with that because it gets a place finished, rented quicker at a less expensive cost, and the cost to replace it is less expensive. If I put LVP flooring in and then some insane tenant comes in and tears it to pieces, I might be changing out thousands of dollars worth of LVP. Now, people get mad at me when I refer to insane tenants, but they exist. People are crazy no matter what lot in life they have, and that includes some tenants. You get great ones, then you get terrible ones. The great ones don't tear things up, but the bad ones that you do get tear things to shreds. And if somebody tears some carpet up, I take it out, I throw it away, I put some new carpet down, I razor blade around the edges, and it's done. LVP is not going to happen that cheap, that fast. So if there is inexpensive, bulletproof flooring, or just tough, let me know. I want to know that. Again, I want to experiment with this trailer in sort of that bottom level, getting it done. Don't be, doing woodworking on a staircase like I did in the $9,000 house mentality. Just get this place done, because in a couple of years, I'm not going to be hung up on the details. It's just going to be done. It's going to be basic. It's going to be clean. It's going to be rented to 2 or 3 different people, and I'm not going to be romancing it. So I don't want to try. I want to try to do this like a regular guy would do this. I can get too excited about the project. It's very easy for me to do that and to not do the appropriate level of material or craft or so on. So let me know what y'all think. Check the description below. I'm going to have the link to my ebook, Cheap Houses, How to Find and Buy Inexpensive Real Estate. It's available on Amazon as well as a PDF on my website. The sales for my book, Patreon, any individual contributions that people make through the other links and means, all of that I'm going to be putting towards a new phone for the next couple videos and hopefully be able to put together enough. Right now, my phone, 1/3 of the screen is black. The lens is cracked on the other side. Let me see if I can show y'all an example. All that lens flare, it's partially, you can see it all in this part, this white area. There's a crack in the lens on my phone, and that's the reason that a lot of my videos look kind of hazy, because it just catches the light in that piece of glass that's over the lens. I think this is an iPhone 10 or X or whatever they called it. It's been a great phone. I filmed a lot of videos with this, and I really have enjoyed it. It's got the wide angle. It was the first one, I think, to get the 0.5x wide angle lens. But I want to step it up. I would like to get a new phone, so I just want to mention that. That's what I'm putting the money towards. It's not to buy me my Lamborghini that I'm saving for. It's just a phone to make the videos better. And I try to fund my YouTube stuff from my YouTube stuff. So that's what I'll be contributing that money towards. Hope that's kind of fun to know and not weird that I'm mentioning it. Mentioned it to my wife. She's like, I think it's a pretty good idea. She said it's not just you begging for money online. You're saying you're going to use it for your channel. But that's it. Let me know y'all's ideas moving forward. Any questions that you have. I'll put total costs of this whole kitchen deal once I've got the kitchen put back together. In the next video, we'll just move forward with this. And then I think we might do a video outside, doing a total outdoor cleanup, cutting down trees, cleaning up before fall time, to where I know what everything is while it's still green, so I can kind of edit outside and then have a little time for it to recover grass-wise, and then through the winter, I don't know. We'll see. Thanks for watching. See you next time.